So we got a question here from a listener, and he's asking about the issue about, is it okay to buy this instrument, the Bitcoin thing? And I would say it depends on the loudness. So about 5 hours ago, this guy's asking, Bitcoin still didn't do anything towards buy. So let's look at the Bitcoin. It didn't do anything towards a buy on the monthly, but I'm really not going to wait, I don't think, that long. And we just experienced a breakout to the downside from all the breakout systems. This is the volatility per bar. This is the lowest volatility month this whole year. The first low volatility month, okay? That's just a fact. Then it breaks out to the downside. Do you really want to go short? So you're saying, why would you buy? And then you said, do you really, my question is that if it's not a buy, then it must be a sell, to be blunt. If you say that I'm going to sit on the sidelines until I get further confirmation that it's going to go up, first it has to go up, then I want to buy the pullback. So you say, if you will buy it right now, you are just gambling. Well, of course. And I would say, hopefully you've bought half of what you're going to buy. So either you're going to buy half of what you really want to buy. So you want to buy here. And if it drops for the next 2 months, I'd be buying it. Because I'm going to go against the blue, the trend. Right? Because you say it's going down. Which, yes, it is. But how big are you loaded on the southern train? And how big are you going to be loaded on the northern train when the party's over? So we all know it's a failed career. These trends they're never your friend. They're completely outlandish. The 20% of the market that's spiking and running hard is a fast trend. These are fast trends. So the speed of the move and the width of the move, so can you really afford to ride this bull for 8 seconds? It's 3 times bigger than a bull. It's a whole different arena. So I don't think a lot of people can handle it. So people go to instruments that don't have crazy spikes in it because that's too dangerous. Even though if you're on the right side of the spike, you look like a genius in 40 minutes or 40 hours or 40 seconds, you know. So when the news comes out, the spreads are kind of wide, and you're not going to get those prices necessarily because everybody's feeding on that price. So that's when across the platforms, yes, if it's some kind of retail, so to speak, situation, and the spreads are wide, of course, those trades aren't available to you, these flash crashes maybe, but why would it matter? Because it's going to retest that price anyways in about 20 seconds or 20 minutes, so it would just be the the second mouse getting the cheese. But you have to be both Mises, so you have to be willing to sacrifice. So like in a chess game, if the person's going to advance, okay, you're like, okay, well, let's clear up the space at least, because now we have less people in the way. The pawns are out of the way. Now we can get down to business. What is the final move? And now that everything's settled, as the volatility dries up, this is going to be a call to arms against the prevailing trend, so to speak, which is fucking ripping down for about almost the whole year. There's no fucking way you'd buy Bitcoin. I mean, sell Bitcoin here, in my opinion. So the next logical thing is to fucking buy it. Now, it's already turned yellow on my dailies. So I can say my first wave, my first buy is going to be a structure buy in the daily. This is a very tight moving average. It's a 1, it's a 2 and a 3 period moving average layered on top of each other. It takes in consideration the highs and lows, so we also have the volatility built into the histogram on the prices, and then at the bottom we've got the true range per bar. You finally got a breakout down here, and it's a painfully obvious dip into the below the structure, and anytime it's below here, I would just keep pulling the trigger. Now, if I was really didn't think I was in big enough, I'd be buying more. If this was a 1 hour chart, I'd have to start buying now and put limits down and buy even more based on just this much data here. So if I saw this on the 1 hour or 4 hour chart, I'd be, oh yeah, I can see that could still keep tanking, and the argument is that this is in a downtrend. There's no indication on the monthly charts that this thing's about to turn up. But after examining these things long enough, it's worth at least a scalp, right? So the scalp is going to be the smack, the rip back up into the floor on the, at least the wick here. So this breakout here on the weeklies now, and trapping the bear bots, the blue sell bots are short, and they're getting fucked. Okay, every time they take a sell, they're not making much money in here. Okay, well hopefully they cashed out what they sold up here. So thinking in a completely on-off switch situation, which trades should you have taken? Full long, full short, no blending, no compromise. Your hog long or hog short would have been, the winning trades would be only sell rallies in the blue. So you sold here, that's so good, right? The reason why this sucks is because you're in the buyer's window. The contrarians and all of the martingalists, the people that are going to start low. Every time it goes down, they're like, every time I see blue, I just think, oh yeah, tell me so-and-so says it's a bear market. I'm just kind of laughing, right? Because I'm just loading up. And then when it comes here, it's not a full move to the floor necessarily, but this is a high probability trade in my opinion. I'll take that. I guess you could say, well, no, I'm waiting for confirmation. I'm going to sell here. I'm going to put a breakout in because here's my lowest volatility, so I just put breakout systems in here. Okay, that's great, and you made this trade. So you made this trade. For me, it took like a month for this to come drifting back, right? Here it's just so obvious to me that I'd want to be buying it here. This smackdown here, and then dump everything in about give it 2 more weeks. Actually, if you can hold on, you're waiting to take this out in Bitcoin, and then I would start cashing out. But then again, for short-term traders, are going to start martingaling in, sell. When it gets up here, they're like fucking sell. When it gets to here, most people are getting the fuck out. Right? Think about it. Most people at fucking, 28 grand, they're like, dude, we just made fucking like almost 10 grand in Bitcoin. Get the fuck out. That's a long-term view. To the end of the year is really coming up here. But I mean, here is fine. I'll take this right here. You're out, right? So it's just a scalp. And I do think, yeah, sure, you could wait for the pullback. Why wait? And the other argument why wait is I've been talking about buying this thing ever since it fell through the floor. I've been saying, yeah, this is, if you're ever the guy that wants to just do that one trade this year, a scalp, in your mind or with real money. Either way, in your mind. You know, this heaven is in your mind. And just do this trade. Take a look at this. Put on my yellow marker. So the obvious place to start cashing out and thinking about selling is, yeah, okay, if you're a seller, you sell into the blue, you look for it to rally into the blue, you sell, sell, sell. But if they ever get above here, you know it's going to be like, okay, then you could really start selling. Here it's actually, this is gambling, but like I said, if you're only trying to make this many pips, you're looking for this trade here, you're looking for this trade here, or ultimately you're looking for this to come up here, dick around, come ripping back, and then crash through the floor. You know, everybody's wishing for that, you know, perfect thing, but this kind of perfect thing, this really happens, right? Here's, with too tight a stop, getting in this breakout here, right? It's a fake breakout to the upside, but then it really pays off. Now, you could have ratios set into these low volatility situations. That's what you need for your ratio has to be 1 to 4, you know. Same thing here. When it's very low volatility, you're getting in. Super low volatility here, doesn't really pay off too much, you know. You're still waiting. That's why systems that are tuned and optimized suck. Like if you're waiting for this kind of trade, okay, well, I guess so. It's a weekly. Oh, you stepped in here and this, I guess this is a big trade really, honestly, because you could have very tight stops. You confirm this way, a little fake breakout, but then wham, finally, you get paid very quickly there. And as soon as we climax the volatility, mind-blowing. Until this trade, which is the fall through the floor, this is the most easy buy, because this is probably you know, when it comes, like I said, when it comes to the floor like this, buy for me, then I dump, and I'm just never going to miss an opportunity like that. It's so blatant, because there's many opportunities inside this. If this is a weekly chart, you know, the daily, there's big rallies into this, and then kaploom, you know, and then kaplam. It's just on and on. And this, I'm sure from the seller's view, and the volatility dries up, really dries up. And here the breakout bots make money because they go long mostly, but once again, if they don't cash out into this, they're just never going to survive it. You just can't do a one-trick pony trade. If you want to consistently make money, I think you do have to trade large and small positions on one instrument alone, if that's all you did ever, just to keep the thing level. But yeah, am I going to wait for the 618 pullback? No, not on this. Look at the daily. That should answer every question. So I'm actually going to go with the daily on this. I'm going to be no nonsense goober trades. We're here right now on the daily. We have a signal to buy. We're just going to buy. Just like I'm going to sell the first blue I see. I shoot when I see the yellow of their eyes. So I pull the trigger blindly into this, and the structure is perfect at this moment in time. It is a perfect situation. Look at this volatility spike. That is just amazing. That's a daily volatility. It's all dried up, and we're trapped under this exquisite last known support. If we can just smack into this again, if you can hold it through that, it smacks into the yellow line, and then it takes off and it starts to beat down on this price. This would be for the long-term traders. But I'm not waiting for this price. That's too much. But that's the field that we hope the next playground is in town they build. I think a lot of people are just going to get the fuck out into this. So we have to first smack through this, then we have to rip, at least jump this first creek to the closing prices. So I'm just going to cut the wicks off and put closing prices. That's still a chunk, right? That's to 18. So we'd make $3 there per coin. But then I'm out, honestly. Sure, you can wait for the pullback after that, but then how many times have you just waited? I mean, the pullbacks are all over the fucking place here in the daily. It depends how strict your entry rules are also. If you're going to consider this to be your buy, I wait for this perfect setup every time. That would have to be your other criteria. So often are you waiting for the fantastic perfect setup? You know, is this something you always do? You wait for this one. But if you took this one, you know, they took you out with this. They stopped you out if you're too cheap because you couldn't wait for this. And the other guys that are putting sell limits up in here, they really don't give a fuck because they're making money on the way back. So here I say buy it. This is kind of like the last, this is your pullback, by the way, on the daily. You're assuming that this is true, and yes, you're gambling, I suppose, every time you decide to go into a trade. If you do enough trading, though, you smooth out your risk because you become more consistent trader because you trade more, so statistically speaking, or at least on paper. And in reality, you are technically consistently losing less, or maybe. You're consistent, so that just means you're not have a high volatility account. So if all of a sudden you made a pant load of money here, but then you lost a pant load of money trying to get into that same trade, hoping this glorious move would happen, you just keep getting trapped in trades here and stop hunted because you got the spreads killing you. Yeah, so it's fucked up. Because 80% of the market's going to be like this, so you're going to be fucked, right? You're looking for these moves, but that only happens 20% of the chart. So right now, we're waiting for that 20% to come swooping back to here and take us for a ride north, or we're waiting for it to keep dripping down, yes. If that's the case, then start putting buy limits in right now, because if you think that, oh, I'm waiting for a pullback, well then fucking there's no waiting. You just put the orders in now ahead of time. If you're waiting for, like, say you thought, oh, this is a big rally, I'm waiting for the pullback, well, sure, you got your buy limits in here. You gobble this shit up, you got picked up in at least this trade, you know. And, you know, these giant moves are so rare. Like, look here, it's just on the very this is amazing. This is just the most amazing. And this is, oh, there's a scandal in Bitcoin. No way. Something that's held by that many fucking people and nobody's fucked it up yet. What about that Mount Docs or Mount Mox or whatever the fucking the original? Well, yeah, they had a problem there with the blockchain. Nothing ever goes wrong. Come on, man. So this is also the view of dystopia, I suppose, and complete coherence with the laws of momentum dynamics. That's just you cannot overcome these situations. It's so funny because this gauge I'm using is just pure reality, is a 3-period moving average on top of, and we have the bottom, we have the true range per event, per snapshot of data coming at us. Dude, if that's not a buy, then just blow my brains out. Like, mail me some AR-13 and a half, that new AR-13.5. You know, how about an AR-618? You know, my fib lied to me, and you know what? It got a little out of hand. I got a little carried away with the fib tool. I'm going with the dailies here on this one. This is a no-nonsense trade, by the way. Brought to you by No Nonsense. If you took the no-nonsense injection, they just call them injections. What happened to that? Well, this is too clinical. I was watching this police video, and I swear to God, they were telling these kids they couldn't protest, and when they busted them out of this tent, they said to them, are we using the right pronouns? And I thought, dude, you gotta fucking, are you serious? Can you get the kid some miso soup here? Like, what the fuck's going on here, man? Damn. Get him a Haagen-Dazs tofu. Poor thing. Yeah, it's tough out there. We got to clear out these wicks here to make it to the ceiling. We got to go gust. This jump in the creek idea is that we're going to get that shit done. We're going to smack into this by the end of the year at least. But you see, in the big picture, if I zoom out on this, it's just like, what? Yeah, I don't see a turnaround either, you know? Like, okay, wait. Here's the 4-hour chart. Looks very encouraging. See, in the 4-hour chart, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can see this trade. Absolutely. Like, come on, bitch. On the 4 hours, like, oh, yeah, this thing's pissed off, man. Wait till it fills this void, right? I mean, that's on the 4 hour you're going to do. Wait till they take out the... So here's a weekly chart now. This is 2 weeks back. There's 2 weeks. All we got to do is pop into this window, and I'm telling you, when it gets to the high of this little peak, forget about it. People are dumping that. And this is where it all started at the beginning of this week. This 1 week here, trapped up on the ceiling, stuck to the ceiling like fucking some type of crime scene. Look at this thing. Ba-bam. And then just spills out of this beautiful, like, everybody's all bullish on their phone. Yeah, Joe looked at it. He says, yeah, it's confirmation. Buy the pullbacks. Where should I put my order? Well, 618. Don't be a dumb shit here. Let me show you how to trade, son. Here's the number one. Here's 618. You buy right here, 618. And if that don't work, then you just buy here. And they don't work, you just buy here. And you just buy here. Well, wait a second. 618 be well. Yeah, I know. We should have measured from back here. It's like the 618 of this. No, this is complete insanity. But look at the scalpers. They bought here and they dumped that wick hard. 4-hour chart. But blam. Now, that is a real trade. If you had limits here, you're buying everything below here. You're like, oh, I'll buy that shit. Fucking A. Like, you just put a stack of limits in. Yes, you made money there in 4 hours. So that trade exists too. That's a real trade. Could have taken that trade. Same thing here. All these buys here, they look like losers. Dude's all fucking money coming ripping back like that. Look at this. This wick's probably only lasted for like 30 seconds. But you'd have to place all those fucking tickets, sit back and have money in the account so that you could scalp all that shit. You would dump the whole thing here. Your targets had to be set right at the 50-yard line of this fair value of this thing. You had to buy all this shit here and dump it. Buy it and dump it. And here, buy this whole thing and you already dumped it. You got to go to the 4-hour chart. Look at this, the biggest volatility ever. Really ever. In the last year. In the last year of this fucking instrument. Bitcoin is fucking out of control. These are obvious things though. Don't tell me this isn't a buy. It's gambling? You're kidding me now. Now you're joking. Why not he says, yes, why not let the trend change and then enter along on some pullback? Buying now is quite risky. It could just go lower and lower. Oh my God, no way. You're kidding. No. So you have to really be able to accept the fact that you're dating a crack whore. Did you ever date a crack whore? Well, let me tell you. Talk about a box of chocolates. It's like every 5 minutes. It's like, this is really here's the 1-hour chart. So this is a crack whore. You're like, oh, babe, like, I thought you wanted to go up. Yeah, I know. I thought you were in remission. You said you called it last time. I mean, oh, that's why we fucked so hard. Okay. So, if you bought this pullback here, you're like, man, I love this fucking. Oh, I bought this one. We long 4 positions into this trend. Right? Look at this. Every fucking hour, I pull the trigger. Bam, bam, bam. Then we come into the next day, ripping up. I'm like, this is beautiful. Should I buy more? Well, maybe not, right? Because the gravy train's over. It's a structural situation. As soon as it got above here, the sellers came in. Sell. Sell 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K. You got to layer your tickets in there, man. How you picking one fucking price? That's the other big thing. Are you picking one price? Seriously? I'll wait for a pullback. Even if you waited for a pullback, here, you got buy limits here that go all the way down, down, buy. This is for me. I would never buy here and dump. But I waited for this and I bought right here. Bought a 618 or something. And I waited for that trade a real long time and then I bought there and it came back. I never bought again until it came down here. Yeah, right. So I'd be buying on limits all the way down. Just go, you know what? Let it go. Let it fucking ride, bitch. Then when everybody does the high probability scalp out pretty much to the floor, I could choose to get out there and I could dump the whole thing along with them. Or I could let some of it ride or let the whole fucking thing ride till it comes back to here and go, no, sorry, it's coming back to here. Fuck everybody. I know everybody can't believe it, but it's coming back to here somehow, some way. And now it's going sideways for this long? Well, holy shit, man. Something's going to give. So it should give hard. We're either going down hard out of here, we're going to hell, or we're going to heaven. I think we're going to heaven. So at least until we hit this price, this is the lonely fucking wick at the top of the fucking staircase on the 1 hour chart. So we got to get it done this week, people. Everybody needs to call their fucking Bitcoin broker and vote for, even if you don't buy, say, yes, I do believe Bitcoin's going up. It's like that mail-in voting shit. So what you're going to do is you're going to email in your vote for Bitcoin, even if you don't buy it really. And you're going to post on, that sticker, I voted for Bitcoin. And put it in your Twitter. Twitter just came back online. So on your Twitter, all the people that have been hiding under their fucking, in their basement, they've been digging down like a Adrenomus strain, putting in fucking 8 levels with lasers. You know, those people they got the pod boxes and they got it all fucking prepped out with water that doesn't go bad. And, their survival kits and batteries. And they're just waiting for they just hooked up the optic fiber there right off of the underground cables coming out of the sea. You know, the people that they're ready for the end of the world for real. They're just in the fetal position, shaking like a leaf. And then there's us common folk that just say, you know what? It's good weather today. I think I go outside, and if my lawn starts growing again because of the global warming, then I'm really going to be pissed off because I'm like, oh, great. Now there's more food to eat. Ugh. I went to the store. They were claiming that the end of the world was coming. I went to the store recently, and I was like tripping over people. They were out of mushrooms. I couldn't understand that. I thought, well, dude, these people probably think they're magic mushrooms or something. Somebody tweeted something out. Somebody lost their mind on that. Big scarcity of mushrooms. And they don't weigh much. So I'm thinking the shipping must be pretty light on these shrooms, right? I mean, it's not like delivering a motor or like a house, you know. Here's your mobile home. Boom. That was heavy. The shipping's kind of heavy on that. Yeah, diesel. Diesel prices are locked and drifting down. So that party's over. And these fucking goobers that have their fucking finger on the they happen to be behind the wheel driving Mr. Lazy instead of Miss Daisy, you know. That used to be a situation, right? That was a problem. So that's what we got here. Welcome to the United States. Now you just sit down there and we'll get you a cup of tea. Oh, tea, and we know you guys like that tea, you know. I was sitting there in line and getting coffee, and this guy wanted to get tea at the Speedway, and I felt like saying to him, dude, listen, you know, we should kick you out of this country. He's a black guy, so I didn't know if I said, but it didn't have a British accent to him, but I thought, wait, the tea, really? Come on, man. What, you do yoga next here in the fucking aisle? I'm trying to get a hot dog. What are you doing? You're fucking up my whole day here. The guy in the parking lot's asking me for money, wants to put gas in my car for me. No, I got this. Leave me alone. So, yeah, it is gambling. That's the thrill of it all. What, are you kidding? The guy's complaining about the gambling aspect of trading. Dude, that is the adrenaline of it. Come on. Stop it. Now you're joking. Okay, now you're joshing me. Now you're ribbing me. Come on, Bitcoin. I know you got it in yous. So this is the sell, though. If you're every hour you sell every time it's up, you buy every time it's down. You should have just sold the Bitcoin just now. Yeah, that's true. But it is going to be interesting. I'm going to go with the daily on this. I'm going to go no nonsense. Total zoom in. Let's take a look at that. And, this is the trade. We go long. We don't wait for confirmation. Confirmation's for pussies. We do not do that. So if you're going to be a confirmation person, what is going to be your trade? Put a buy stop up here. We overpay. I say put buy limits down here. Just dump the whole thing right now. So if you bought this plunge, this lock in below the floor, that was fucking 3 days ago. 4 days ago. Beautiful. It closes below the low. It's called a double bottom in price. Actually, if there's a shoulder coming, which you would wait for that if you're going to be a pullback guy, you're going to buy this pullback and load the wagon on the shoulder, put your stop below the head. But what if it keeps going down and does one of these things, and it turns out every time it goes lower than this low, which it did fucking how many fucking times? Bam, 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 bam. How many times did it keep wicking into this price? Well, shit, if you took every one of those trades and dumped everything above this, you'd be pretty good shape, right? So if you're able to be the guy that can accumulate, just like down here, you do accumulation strategies to build a giant position for the engulfment of this top of this month. So this is a monthly chart in the sense that it's from dotted line to dotted line. It's monthly, and we're on the daily trapped under the floor. Yes, I'm pretty certain that even the people that the early birds, early bird gets the worm, second mouse gets the cheese, but the early bird does get the worm also. So it's not an all or nothing world. I think that's the other issue. If you're born in '89. So the world, the Bitcoin luckily has unfolded here in such a way that we can see these things now. Just like we would have seen it back here, but who could afford to put in who could afford to buy Bitcoin here? You could with real money, but if you had a leveraged account, right, now you'd have to seriously load the wagon based on this wick, saying to yourself, you know what? This here is going to be the place to load up. Holy shit. And you could have just dumped into the floor of this box, or are you waiting for even a retap, and then the ultimate smack into going after these wick tips here at some point. And now the obvious trade is to load the fucking wagon here. It's just so fucking obvious. And again, you got plenty of I mean, these people are already out of the trade, I mean, the 4-hour guys, they're out of the daily guys are out of the trade already. They bought this plunge and they dumped it here and they're like, yeah, we're good. For the scalp aspect, now the true swing trader engulfment retracement people are still holding, and they're looking to scale out, or there's maybe one guy sitting there going, oh, I'm waiting for it to come back to here. All right, that's a long wait. That's going to take you maybe 2 weeks. I don't know if I could wait that long, to be honest with you. So on the weekly chart, we're talking about, you bought 2 blue bars. You're going against every fucking trend goober right now. And you have to believe in building this position to the extent that you're an investor. Dollar cost average into it. It's the oldest trick in the book. And this is how we do it. There's no other workaround for that. Right? There's no way to get around this. We have to take the risk that this ride's over. Are we going to keep tanking? Sure. Would you sell here? No fucking way. You missed your sell. I think the sell's going to be the top tick Tommy of coming after that shit on the weekly. So you missed your sell for having that quick and dirty money. And most people have loaded up probably seriously below this wick. And there'll be a break even when we get to here, if we get to here. This is the true ultimate box at the bottom. Is this wick back here. And we haven't even come back to, we only barely came back to that for a moment, but not really. So we're still trapped, believe it or not, but we did come back to this daily floor. Okay, so this guy had made the most amount of money. The guy that bought this slot below that wick, he could be totally out of that trade right now. He's got a great batting average right now. The heavy contrarians put in their buy limits here, and they're up on every trade. The breakout delta trade, which is pretty rare, filled here to the well, that's going to be Sunday night there, so that's not fair, but got filled here on the short side. But that if he didn't cash out, he's completely fucked right now. And this side of the trade is, if you got filled here long, and it's just really drifty and calm. So all the volatility's dried up. Obviously, the indicator certainly agrees because it's based on reality. I guess this is the Marxist part of it that kind of drifted into the Gartleys became the Marxist trading. I think I made a video about Marxist Gartleys because it's this kind of fantasy shit that people put up there without regard to what it would really cost, you know. But certainly you're buying this thing that has been beat to shit by every piece of news fucking, like when you hear bad news about Bitcoin from, say, your grandma said, "Oh, son, are you doing that Bitcoin again?" That's the time to buy it, you know. And of course, when what was that country, Venezuela or Brazil or some poor country was like, you know what, do shit. What do you think? What do you think? Well, I'm the prime minister here, and I say we use this Bitcoin here as some kind of fancy dancy digital like coin. Well, it's great, you know. And who the fuck cares? If you've seen the ruble fucking go over the map, it just looks like another fucking instrument. How about that? How about that ruble? And how about the Turkish lira against the fucking ruble? I mean, some of these things, the spread is like mind blowing, and then the market is so illiquid that it's like an on and off switch. For all of a sudden it's worth a zillion, now it's worth nothing. One day it's worth a zillion, then it's worth shit. And that's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin finally came back to fucking reality. You just gotta love it. The final reconciliation of reality taken upon the public finally says, you know, man, maybe $1 million. But it's a hot topic. It's hysterical. It is too much fun, the Bitcoin. It's definitely the most direct display of madness of crowds that you really ever get to see in your whole life. But amazingly, there are times when it's okay to get involved in these things. And I'd say it's when everybody says that's the most corrupt thing in the world. I'm thinking, or it's the most risky thing, or these guys filed bankruptcy. I'm like, okay, well, you know, it didn't stop. Who was that? Michael Milken made a bunch of money just coming in buying junk bonds. Then they got all angry. Like, why are you buying junk? You buying junk cars? That's our job. We're the government. We're here to help you. Don't you be helping nobody out. That's our job. Then you get, like if you're in California, you try to give a guy a sandwich. You go, this is not FDA-approved sandwich you're giving him. You took a bite out of it. Yeah, I know he's starving to death. Well, that's not a reason to break a law here, son. I mean, everything's a fucking psychotic, a dystopian fucking joke. We don't take kindly you're coming in here and rustling our feathers with some kind of logic and reason. Now get the fuck out of here. Damn it, go run along now. Your constitutional rights. What the fuck you think you are? Now this person's been selected by our systems. You know, like the way we drop our balls. We can't even fucking get the ball to drop on that $1 billion fucking lotto in California. Who's the winner? Anybody know the winner of that thing? What if he comes in and says, you know what? I feel so bad for everybody that lost their fucking their money in the bitcoins. I'm going to donate. I'm going to buy. Like, you see that article just came out? Some company said we're going to donate some money to the green fund of Bitcoin. I'm going to bail it out. Here's the other thing I don't understand. If Bitcoin's so valuable, here's the other fundamental, completely unbelievably. If you believe in fundamentals, which you can't. Right? You can't because it's time sensitive. Yeah, finally, fundamentals make sense here. No, wait a second. But the problem here with the fundamentals and Bitcoin is, what about the story about, wait, what? The electricity prices are high. Wait a minute. Let me put a little supply and demand thing. So you're telling me electric prices are going all through the roof and the Bitcoin be going down? Now, how can that fucking be? It be costing so much to mine a new Bitcoin. Now, this is the argument why Bitcoins are so expensive. Because it's harder and harder to mine a Bitcoin. Now it's really fucking hard. It's really fucking expensive. So Bitcoin should go up. And I believe they fundamentally will respond to this logic accordingly as people wake up to the fact that I'm right and everybody else is fucking wrong. I do believe this is going to happen. People are going to say, well, that's right then. Here, let me get my pencil from beyond my fucking ear here, and let me just scribble this down. Let me sharpen it up first, just a tad. Just not quite sharp enough. I don't want to rip the paper. Now, I don't want to get carried away sharpening that pencil too much, you know. End up like this guy can't pull trigger and no trade. It's gambling. It's fucking gambling. You talking gambling, son? I show you gambling. But the psychology of this stuff's hilarious, man. Do not touch that Bitcoin, son. I told you, it's going down. Didn't you hear about those people using the money to fund a bunch of fucking AR 13.5s? And that guy's building one in his fucking shed. The guy next door, I'm telling you what, he dug down 5.5 floors. 55 floors he went down, like Fibonacci style. Motherfuckers about, talk about thermal warming. It's like 140 degrees down there. He's like, it's got women tied up down there and shit. I don't want to talk about it. My neighbor, it looks like an abandoned house, but no. If you go in there, you can dig down. So he's keeping it all on the low down. Super low down. He had to sign a waiver saying, do not rescue me. He had to tell the local government knows he's down there. They're going to come there and use his ham radio when the world comes to an end. He built a shack out back here. Got beams coming off of it. He's got ears. He says he's got ears on everything. He's ready for the insurrection, global insurrection. Everybody's going to lean to one side and the planet's going to tip, and then we can change the global temperatures like a big dial. So what I think is going to happen eventually is people will learn how to like sync up, take the latency out of the lean, and everybody's going to say, you know what kind of weather do you want? Well, I don't know. What do you think? And then the people gang up on other people, try to tip the planet. The next thing you know, everybody's fucking suffering. Everybody shot themselves in the foot like a dumb shit, like a comedy western. But it is utterly fascinating, and please fall apart in my favor here as the crude oil is itching towards the abyss. It just dipped in the window here, so I would be a buyer. scaling in an oil for certain. Bring me down to $3. It gets below $3 at the pump. All you're going to hear is about how finally that legislation has hit the markets, when we all know that people are out of their fucking minds. And the dumbest people, or the most people that chase shit, are the big money. The latency of their trade is so fucking slow. Institutional trading has such a lag. By the time they figure out that that instrument sucks dick, everybody's going to be, all the smart money, so to speak, all the people that are contrarians, that are able to pile into the other side of that trade, are going to sit back and go, well, we locked those fuckers in. We painted those fuckers into a corner. They did it themselves. We just sat back with our limits waiting for them to get all out of control and let them fill my tickets. Let me realize when they're filling my tickets, there's a dead cat bounce I should be scalping during this process. So you still have to pay the rent, so to speak. And if you're trading a big swing trade, you have to scalp, because you cannot afford to sit in these trades for like 3 weeks. The market going against you. It depends how deep your pockets are. So how long do you want to hang with the market against you? And that's really difficult, because it's like the crack whore that won't even, even be nice to you, let alone not steal your stuff, but be nice to you. That's a bonus, right? Oh, you're in a good mood. Yeah, don't get used to it. Fuck. Don't start pissing me off. If you don't agree with me in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to fucking smash your head into the ground. Okay. Oh, coffee. Yeah, I know. I got this coffee at Speedway. Hey, maybe you should go decaf. Tea. That's a tea time. Come on. Now, this is the weekly crude oil. I'm rooting for my team here. I'm short. I'm short because I'm paying for it at the pump. Look at all this spastic stuff. This is distribution, son, up here. When we see these kind of wicks, we call this distribution. This is technical analysis. Anything above that, distribution process is over. Now it's the markdown. We're looking for the Wyckoff markdown. Mark it down into this box, you motherfucking goddamn greedy bastards. Trying to rape my car. I don't appreciate spending money on fuel, if you don't mind. Mr. Oil Guy. Now, supposedly Biden went over there and is going to go down on some of the... he's going to put his head under the tent there. He's going to go rub the leg hair of the towel heads out there. So we got all sorts of reasons to fundamentally embrace the crush in oil. Bye-bye. Sister, see ya. That is the summertime. This is a yearly chart now by the horizontals. And come on, baby. Come on back home. We loved you down at this price. We want this box again. Please. It's my Christmas. My wrist just Santa Claus. How many more letters are... Do you think there's email letters to the North Pole? How's that working out? Does that work now? Here's just my raw dog chart here, my classic. This does have 100 pip handles in it. This is the only one that actually has. This is how I typically look at the market, so I can get most vertical dimension, but I know people like that colored shit and all that stuff. So here's how I do it usually, is I just look and say, oh, I want to buy a 100 pip plunge, so I just put a rack of limits in here, right? This is the daily CAD. So if I was swing trading CAD, and I would just scalp out of that box and the trade would be over. Simple as that. Selling into this, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Because if you go to the weekly, you see the danger? If you go, well, you can find the abyss very quickly here. That's a 100 pip grid on the big lines. But if you had the balls and the money to put all your orders in that rooftop, and you just sell, you're short into, you had to have a fucking... Are you up for like a 500 pip stop on that trade to make 100 pips? You sold at the top of the box. You withstood this whole fucking this whole fucking rally, and you finally cashed out because you got out down here, and you took 100 pips with a 500 pip stop. High probability. You're the only guy that could survive that, right? You sold here, cashed out here. You made this much. Your stop was here. Never got hit. And you're a fucking 100% winning trade. On all your trades, you sold, you martingaled in, you sold. It's pretty hard, right? Psychologically. Not a lot of people are selling into that. But that's where the money's at. So my view of the market is, look at this fucking hole. If we ever take out this, holy shit. If I could buy a 1K, a 2K, a 3K, a 4K, a 5K, a 8K, a 9K, a 10K, and then the market comes slamming all the fucking way back to here, and I'm out, I go, you know what? That is a good fucking trade. I bought the vacuum, and then when it came flying back, I got out. I buy the plunge, scalp it. Here's the triangle. Here's the low volatility, breaks out. Okay, but you didn't have to be right. You could have had limits down here to get filled on the monthly. This is a monthly chart, by the way. Look at this. People's heads explode. But if you were martingaling in, you see you're going to get stopped out of your 100 pip stop. I mean, your 1,000 pip stop got taken out. Think about it, 1,000 pip stop. But if you could hang into this, first scalp, second big winner. Or you're buying this big plunge. It's a monthly chart. Here's where you're going to blow up most people's accounts. They sell. For the whole month, they're like, I'm a seller to the end of the year, sell. Wow. If you could do that trade, you'd be so fucking rich, because that means that you sold this fucker and you made it back to here, which the wick is, and this is, even from closing prices to here, is a fucking monster. All the way back to the starting gate of this, you're going to tell me you don't want that trade? Oh, I don't go against a... Another thing, that no nonsense guy, and that's the other mentality the guy asking me about, why would you do that without a signal? It's the guy that can't do this trade. You're never going to be the guy, trust me. You don't have to worry about it. You're never going to be the guy selling like above here going, dude, I'm selling. I just sold my last wife. I rented my wife out. I turned her out of the street. She's working the streets. She makes a lot of money. She's very adorable. But look at it. I said, honey, when you're done. But then now she's still back on the streets. I can't get her home now. She's like, that was fun. That was risky. I like that. Turns out she likes risk too. Well, that's another problem. I don't want to get into this problem, but so your personal life could affect your trading. It's possible. You do need the money, the time, and the space. You can't have your wife going, well, how can we blow up the account again? Same reason I'm cheating on you with that chick down the street. God, fucking get a clue. What a fucking dumb bitch I married. I'm just speaking of my own. She's not dumb. Right? No, she is. She's naive. She likes me too much to not believe my lies. As long as you keep her barefoot and pregnant, right? That's the old school version. This way, you keep her calm, feed her a lot. This monthly chart really teaches you a lot, though, because you really could ask yourself, why don't I get into these trades? And then the obvious answer is like, well, who the fuck is selling here? You got some giant balls. If you have to rent balls, maybe that's the trick. How about instead of a mentorship, how you just rent balls, like a ball rental? You rent a fucking ball when you go bowling. You rent that ball. Well, indirectly, you rent the shoes, which is the mechanism to throw the ball. So you're renting the platforms for your ball launchings. I'm not a bowler. I launch balls, man. Come on, man. Can't you see a fucking setup when it's coming at you? You can't see a buy opportunity in Bitcoin? What am I, stupid? I don't kind of want to wait for a little bit like a 618. Is anybody? If I put 618 into YouTube, 618 Forex, how many videos do you think would come up? I'm fucking head would explode right now. I gotta look that up. Let me take a gander at that. I bet the comeback on that. And what is the most popular one? I gotta take a look. Okay, I just did a search here for the Forex 618. The magics, not the magic, but the magics of 618 golden ratio. Chart patterns. So maybe I should refer you to these Gartley patterns for your entry system if you like to buy pullbacks. Chart patterns, candlestick, stock, market, Forex, crypto. It works on everything, even crypto. Shit, I'll be a son of a bitch. Well, you are a son of a bitch. No, don't say that. Fuck, god damn it. Boy, you're getting all fucking meanie rat. Yeah, look at this Forex 618. This guy named his channel that. Look at this guy, cutting edge. Look at this. Did I nail that fucking... Look at this guy, 18 subscribers. You go, girl. Look at this bald-headed fuck. So, sell right here, 6... Damn, he nailed that fucking... I'll be a son of a bitch. This guy knows his shit. The Fibonacci is a great tool to you in day trading. Okay. Fibonacci retracements. In 4K, you don't want to miss a fucking lick of this shit. Oh my God. 57,000 views. And what is the... Here, let me see what he says about the... What's the comments? Oh my God, has he got a top knot? No. He's got a bicycle, though. Is it a Forex bike? You know, you always wonder what's going on here with these people. You're like, wait a second. Just a minute, guys. I am most thing I hate in trading is too easy for determining entries. Yeah, I don't know. Love the content. People love content. They love this guy. A little too much. I'm worried about him. Okay. So, what do you say? Fibonacci retracement system. Oh, here. I tested it. It doesn't work. Finally, reality here. Look at reality. Don't. Reality. Don't what? Oof. Here's 618. It's as easy as that. Look at there's a fucking entry right there. Don't be a dumb shit. God, what a bunch of dumb shit traders. I think what's the problem here is look at $2,000 a day using the Fibonacci. Here, look at this guy. Son of a bitch. You gotta shave your head to make that much money. I'll shave my head. Whatever you want, sir. I want to be a member of this troop. How do I identify? Shit, I can't even find my goddamn cell phone. I think it's here in the couch somewhere. Nope, I think I left it on top of the washing machine again. At least I didn't put it in last time. I put it in, try to get it really clean. The screen was all fingerprinted up from me trying to trade while driving. And then I got this greasy sandwich and I put on a trade accidentally. Oof. Look at this guy. Samurai Scupper. So these samurai guys, watch out for these guys that are taking all your fucking money. These guys stop hunting you right here. See this guy? I don't need. Look at this. He's trying to trade. He stole my name. Son of a bitch. This guy owes me fucking reparations. Look at this shit. Man, you can't trust nobody. Look how many views he's gotten. I think this guy owes me some fucking money, man. What do you think? Do I got a lawsuit here? Like at 12 minutes, fucking guy stole my name. You fucker. Despite economic crisis, this is a good time to invest. I agree. Fuck yeah, bitch. Penelope. Yeah, she looks adorable. Yeah, let's go. Oh, can see why this guy makes a solid strategy. Real simple, clear, fast. Love it. Thank you. Oh, this guy really gets it done. Oh, you guys are big followers. Another perfect video. Just like mine. Anyways, so Samurai Trader, he's nailing it. In this video, I show you best, simple, thinking years of Forex knowledge combined with simplicity. Okay, so can I join his mentorship? I kind of want to stay on top of this, you know. Try to stay on top of this situation. Here's a simple Forex strategy.
What's going on? Let's get right into it. See, with this strategy...
Here, we don't want to hear. We don't. Just fast forward. Let's see. Get to the entry. No, I don't trust him. He's cross-eyed. See this? He's cross-eyed. I don't trust him. I think he's up to something. Don't forget the hate and dislike. You can dislike again now. I notice you can. YouTube's letting you let your hair down. Look at you can dislike now, but everybody's afraid to. You can dislike, but you don't see the count. Or has it always been like that? I thought you couldn't even dislike if you wanted to. They're like, you can do it, but you just won't know what's going on there. I'm new to Bitcoin and I've been making losses, trying to make profit myself in trading. Oh, Elizabeth, come here. Come to my house. I'll show you how to trade. Now she might invite over. Uh-oh. Yeah. Look, you got a pulse. I'm not in necrophilia. Yeah, come on over, babe. You're fine. Elizabeth, God, I gotta have like a lozenge to pronounce your name. Get enough spit up to just names like that. Man, that's take a day off of work just to pronounce your name. Okay, this guy seems to have a strategy. Always waiting for all sorts of complicated shit to occur. What's this nonsense indicator at the bottom? Oh, is he using that TradingView shit? That ninja shit? Oh, God, I can't take it. Anyways. Hey, Troy, you stole my name. I'll give you that. Good work, son. You can't trust anybody anymore. Simple stop losing money. Stop trading. Why do we wait for confirmation? Who is this guy? Well, you can see they're taking advantage of me already. Well, they know I got a winning strategy. They know I wrote the ultimate indicator, the 3-period moving average. I mean, look, it's been in buy mode for 3 days. Don't talk to me about not buying Bitcoin. How dare you?